Welcome again. It's Domain Day from cheapwinefinder.com. Again, another wine review. Today we've got, what do we got? I always have to look for some reason. Trader Joe's Petite Reserve Rosé Central Coast 2020. Petite Reserve means it's a one-time deal, and they don't have a lot of it. And it's from the Central Coast, and the details on this wine is that they say this is a $14 wine that they got the leftovers from, and they're selling for $7.99. Now, this is a Negociant wine, or at least California's version of a Negociant wine. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what Trader Joe's wines are. If it's a wine that's got the same label year after year, the same wine year after year, well, then that's pretty much exactly the same as the wines on the shelves of your retail wine shops. The only difference is that the wine is only sold at Trader Joe's. I mean, it could be a wine that sells at wine shops. It's not, because it's Trader Joe's commissioned it. Those wines are exactly the same, probably made by the exact same people, or a lot of the exact same people who make wines you get in the wine shop. Now, when you get the wines with Trader Joe's in the name, the Grand Reserve and the Platinum Reserves and the Petite Reserves, those are versions of Negociant wines. And a Negociant is a wine cellar started in France. It's been going on for a couple hundred years, I think. And what they would do was they would go to different wineries and get what's left over. And because the winery in question makes their money from that vintage from their own retail wine, what's left over is pure profit for them. And they're more than happy to sell it to the Negociant. And the Negociant, to have this deal work, has to keep quiet. They put a new label on it. They don't know who it is. And they sell the wine. It's exactly the same wine, or it can be. I'll go over that in a little bit. As the winery's wine, only it's a bargain. Like this Trader Joe's wine that they say sells $13 or $14, and they're selling for $7.99. And I've had it, and I believe them. Just took a sip. And you have to keep who the original winery is quiet, because if people knew, they never buy the original winery's wine. They always buy the Negociant wines at 40% off. Negociants don't have to just sell the exact same wine. They can buy, say, a Cabernet Sauvignon from this winery and a Merlot from that winery and a Cabernet Franc from another winery and put them together and make their own blend. Or they can take a wine that before the winery in question is going to put in oak for a year and a half, and they can put it in there for 6 months and sell it as a younger wine rather than a wine that's been aged longer. They can do whatever they want to it, but they sell their wine based on their reputation, and that's where Trader Joe's, Aldi's, Costco, all these places that get custom brand wines are all selling you wine based on on their reputation, because you don't know the details of the wine. Like on brand wines, you don't know exactly where they're from. If it's a brand from an established winery, you kind of know a little bit about it. But if it's a brand from a wine company, you probably don't know a thing about it any more than you know about Trader Joe's wines. So this is a Negociant wine. And it's legitimate. It sells for $14 somewhere else, probably in your local wine shop. I used to take the back, there used to be tasting notes on the back label. There was tasting notes on the back of this label. And I would put them into Google, and up would come the original winery. Trader Joe's back in the day would just cut and paste. And I would do, oh, that's who made the wine. You're not supposed to know, because that kills the whole system. If you know who did it, that's kind of cheap. I mean, I shouldn't tell anybody. But I did that again in this wine, and it was a $30 rosé from Central Coast. I'm thinking, what? I think more likely it's just the same grapes used. I don't know what grapes are used. No one's telling me anything about this. But that's what that is. So these Trader Joe's reserve wines are often California version of Negociant wines. Trader Joe's cannot be their own negociant. You need licenses, and they have to pay fees, and there's paperwork. You go through a company, and I don't know if Trader Joe's has an interest in any of these companies or whoever doesn't. It's usually a third party, but they get leftovers from somebody somehow and turn it into a Trader Joe's wine. And there you go. I know they just recently had Napa Valley wines that were all a little bit too young. So rather than keeping them in oak for another year and a half and bottle another year, they sold them young at $14.99. It's Negociant. You get to drink a wine that would be $45, but it's not. So that's good. I liked it. I'm drinking Negociant Rosé. It's legit 14 if you ask me. And that's all I got to say. So keep it cheap, stay warm, stay cool, stay safe. And I've got another Trader Joe's Dry Creek Zinfandel coming up, so we'll talk about that in a couple of days. And adios, keep it cheap, and I'll be talking to you.